Hi, I'm Alan Wilson, and I want to take a moment of your time to talk to you about a special weekend that's coming up the first weekend of March. The weekend has been hosted by Shaun in Killorglin in County Kerry, and the theme of the weekend is exploring your leadership journey. And what that means is if you are a leader and you want to do what the title of the weekend says, you want to explore your leadership journey, the weekend's going to give you the opportunity to do just that. And the way we're going to do it is by taking a look at the leadership journey of one of the great leaders in the Bible, Moses. D.L. Moody, the famous American preacher from another era, summed up the life of Moses by saying that he spent the first 40 years of his life learning to be a somebody, the next 40 years of his life realizing that he was a nobody, and the final 40 years of his life discovering what God is able to do through a nobody. And I think that's a pretty good summary of Moses' life. It's Stephen in the book of Acts, in his famous sermon in Acts chapter 7, who actually divides the life of Moses up for us. And we'll be using the divisions, the 340s that Stephen gives us, to take a look at the life of Moses and, as I say, at the leadership journey of Moses. We'll take a little bit of time to talk about the formative years, the first 40 years of his life as Moses grows up in a place of privilege. We'll spend a bit of time thinking about the middle 40 years of his life, what I would call the desert years or the wilderness years of his life, where by the time he gets to the end of it, he's actually really lost any sense of vision and any sense of excitement about doing something for God. And then we'll look at the final 40 years of his life where God calls him in that famous scene in Exodus chapter 3. God calls him. Moses is very reluctant, but God gets him involved in the great plan of rescue that he has. And for 40 years, as Moody says, Moses discovers what God can do through a nobody. We'll look at those three phases of Moses' life, and as we do it, you, as a leader, will have an opportunity to reflect on your journey. So I hope you'll join us, and that God will use the weekend to bless you and shape you in whatever leadership role you have.